So I've been wanting to do this reaction video with the Call of Baal for a very long time. I feel like a lot of people are afraid to talk about the works of the evil one, but I think it's important to know these things because um it's better to gain knowledge than to be ignorant, right? And I feel like a lot of us Christians, we always say, study to show yourself approved, or you know, be spiritually awake. But when you become a Christian, when you are baptized, and when you are walking in the Spirit, you will see other spirits attack you. You know what I mean? You will be in spiritual warfare. So this video is not for the people who are just churchgoers and not walking in the Spirit. If you do both, great. You would understand too. I'll be pulling up a map to mainly expose the work of Baal, and what the enemy is using him and his ideologies for. So let's just get straight into it. We're gonna do a reaction video with Bible Babel. I don't know how to say that word right. And he's basically gonna talk about the Baal cults of Ahab and Jezebel. Okay. So before I get to more talking, because I can talk all day about this, let's get right into it, and we'll just talk about it after. All right, let's go.
The book of First Kings states that the Israelites picked a guy named Omri to be their king, and that he did more evil than all the kings that came before him. After Omri, his son Ahab becomes king of Israel. Ahab married a Phoenician princess named Jezebel, and they
Mm-hmm.
participated in the fertility cults of Baal and Asherah. By the time of Ahab and Jezebel, the fertility cults appeared to already have the official sanction of Israel's leaders, and Ahab, with his wife's encouragement, built a temple to Baal at his capital in Samaria. The earliest deity recognized by the peoples of the ancient Near East was the creator god El. His mistress, the fertility goddess Asherah, gave birth to many gods, including a powerful god named Baal, or Lord. There appears to have been only one Baal, who was manifested in lesser Baals at different places and times. Over the years, Baal became the dominant deity.
I did not know that part. I didn't know that. Well, according to the Bible and according to this teaching, that Baal was manifesting and making multiple forms of him. I usually always think that when spirits or evil spirits or demons would attack people or persuade people, they would use other spirits related to him. But that's a little interesting. So let's keep going.
And the worship of El faded. Baal won his dominance by defeating the other deities, including the god of the sea, the god of storms, also of rain, thunder, and lightning, and the god of death. Baal's victory over death was thought to be repeated each year when he returned from the land of death, the underworld, bringing rain to renew the earth's fertility. Hebrew culture viewed the sea as evil and destructive, so Baal's promise to prevent storms and control the sea, as well as his ability to produce abundant harvests, made him attractive to the Israelites. Baal is portrayed as a man with the head and horns of a bull, an image similar to that in biblical accounts. His right hand, sometimes both hands, is raised and he holds a lightning bolt, signifying both destruction and fertility. Baal has also been portrayed seated on a throne, possibly as the king or lord of the gods. Asherah was honored as the fertility goddess in various forms and with varying names. She is portrayed as a nude female, sometimes pregnant, with exaggerated breasts that she holds out, apparently as symbols of the fertility she promises to her followers. The Bible indicates that she was worshipped near trees and poles called Asherah poles. Baal's worshippers appeased him by offering sacrifices, usually animals such as sheep or bulls. At times of crisis, Baal's followers sacrificed their children, apparently the firstborn of the community, to gain personal prosperity. The Bible called this practice detestable. God specifically appointed the tribe of Levi as his special servants in place of the firstborn of the Israelites, so they had no excuse for offering their children. The Bible's repeated condemnation of child sacrifice shows God's hatred of it, especially among his people. Asherah was worshipped in various ways, including through.
It's kind of crazy how, so basically in this video, and I've read about this too, basically, in order for Baal to be pleased, I guess, and summoned and acknowledged. What people, especially with the Canaanites, would do is they would have you seen his last video? Actually, if we go to this part right here, I'm gonna try to pause it right here. This is how they would sacrifice themselves or sacrifice their children unto this entity right here, this false idol called Moloch. And although Molech, oh, can't even say it right. Although Molech wasn't physically a physical entity, um, basically what would happen is these people right here, you can see, they would take their children and they would burn them in the hands of Molech, and that was probably, I'm gonna be honest, I personally believe that was endorsed by Baal. And even when we see in today's society, that same spirit dwells within Molech, and with the same spirit of even getting rid of your kids, whether it's through abortion, whether it's through murdering them, even before they're born. Um, it's the same spirit moving into that. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like people will call it the origin. The origin of abortion is to sacrifice your baby, or basically, if you had an infant child, you would get rid of it somehow, some way. You know what I mean? You didn't want it. And in the ancient times, this is what they would do. They would put it in the hands of Moloch, and they would play loud drums so that when they hear the baby's cries, they didn't want to hear them. So they would play loud and loud, and it's sickening. It's horrible. But this was the cult that they did. So let's go a little bit back to where I was at.
Born of the Israelites, so they had no excuse for offering their children. The Bible's repeated condemnation of child sacrifice shows God's hatred of it, especially among his people. Asherah was worshipped in various ways, including through ritual sex. Although she was believed to be Baal's mother, she was also his mistress. Pagans practiced sympathetic magic, that is, they believed that they could influence the god's actions by performing the behavior they wished the gods to demonstrate. Believing the sexual union of Baal and Asherah produced fertility, their worshippers engaged in sex to cause the gods to join together, ensuring good harvests. This practice became the basis for religious prostitution. The priest, or a male member of the community, represented Baal. The priestess, or female members of the community, represented Asherah. Now, many, if not all, of the Old Testament gods had disappeared, at least in name, by the time of Jesus. Beelzebub, based on the Philistine god Baal-zebul, had become a synonym for the prince of demons,
Oh wow!
Satan. Many of the
I
ancient
guess that
pagan
makes
deities
sense. That makes sense now that it's translated like that. Some people would say that Beelzebub or Baal himself is the devil. You know what I mean? And um, whether he's the Lord of the Flies or an entity sent down from the higher heavens and kicked out, we kind of see now. Um, it's all under it's all under the evil and the power of the darkness of the enemy, Satan himself. And it just shows how deep the rabbit hole gets. And even after this video, what I'll do is I'll pull up a map. Uh, it's a map that explains the ideology of Baal and who he influences too. So
lived on, however, now identified with the gods of the Greeks and Romans, the nations who controlled the people of Israel before and during New Testament times. The God of Israel had always condemned child sacrifice and the worship of other deities. In one passage he says, "I did not command you to do this, nor did it even enter my mind." Now, it's in the setting of these Baal cults that Elijah comes on the scene, one of Israel's greatest
Elijah,
prophets.
yes sir. Now what we're gonna do is I found this map. Thank God I found this map. Okay, I'm so glad I found this map, because this map was very hard for me to find, and most people had it either on social media or some areas, but it was hard to find the exact map. So we're gonna pull it up right now. But overall, before I pull it up, I do like this video. This is a very good video. It's pretty good to get some knowledge, and kind of an eye catcher too. So when you go to the top of this, right, I'm hoping y'all can see this on my screen. we can see on the top here, we'll zoom in a little bit too. So on these letters here, you can see the cult of Baal up here. I don't know why my thing isn't doing that. So on the top page of here, you can see right here, it says cult of Baal, like on the very top here. So I found this map, and kind of want to go over a little bit of things here. So if you see on the very top here, you can see where it says Baal worship, okay? And look on the other side, it says human sacrifice. And if you look in the middle, it's founded by the Canaanites, okay? And this was being, you can see basically the point I'm making here is you can see how even the cult of Baal, and we're going to scroll down on the left side, you can see all the history that was going on while the cult of Baal was being influenced, okay? If you look on the top, you can see the fall of Atlantis. It has all the information here, and I love this. You can see here it says storm god, the Lord, the number one born sacrifice. I don't know why my arrow is not pointing on this screen, but that's okay. And even on the far side on this, you can see right here Molech. If you go down, so if you see human sacrifice on that pedestal here, if you look a little bit to the right, you can see the word Molech. And then you go over, you can see the epic of Gilgamesh, and then the Anunnaki and the Nephilim. The Nephilim were basically the so-called aliens, or the Anunnaki, the aliens. See, and what people don't understand is there's a reason why I wanted to find this map. This is one reason why I wanted to find this, is because people are trying to dig deep into the rabbit hole, but they're still not finding the origin. It's showing, and even in these time frames, how it was influenced. You know what I mean? It goes back to like the beginning of time. You can even see here the Brotherhood of the Snake, and then the sons of Beli. So if you, like I said, if you guys have any questions, just write in the comments and we'll do some research. Now, before I scroll down, I want to tell you guys that some of you are gonna be shocked, and some of you aren't gonna be shocked on what you see on the very bottom. And you see how on the top it says the Canaanites. But now if we go down a little bit here, we'll look at the circles first, like the big circles here. You see the pharaohs here, what was going on. This was in the times of, I believe this was in the times of, let's see, this has to be the times of, I think this is the times of Moses, of course. So you see the pharaohs of Egypt here. If you see that little bridge that goes between the circle of Canaanites and the pharaohs here, this is the Osirises. And then you got the Canaanites with Nimrod on the other side with the kings of Babylon, okay? And this is how Moloch was being infiltrated as well with the kings of Babylon. And then if you see on the far right side here, you can see how Yahweh was instructing Moses to deliver his people from the pharaohs and the kings of Babylon here. So now we scroll down, right? It gets crazy, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it gets a little crazy. I'm trying to zoom out a little bit here so y'all can see a little bit more. You can see the Roman Empire. You can see Judea when the second temple was built. In the middle here, you see monotheism. I gotta scroll in a little bit here. I hope y'all can see this. In the middle here, y'all can see monotheism. You see how Satan and Lucifer, well, same person, Satan and Lucifer, what they were doing between these times of the Roman Empire and Judea. So like I said, Satan was highly trying to influence religious people, the Roman Empire. He was involved in all of this, okay? He was involved in all of this. And even you can see here near the right across the Roman Empire, this is where Jesus was born, okay? So this is where the Messiah, right? Let's go here a little bit. I don't like that these words are so blurry, but now if you look to the middle of the left-hand side, right across the Roman Empire, you can see where Jesus was doing his ministry, you know what I mean? So you see that there, and then that was in the time of the Roman Empire when the second temple was built. And then on the other side, you got the Pharisees, the Sadducees over here, you know what I mean? Even if you scroll up a little bit, you can kind of see Solomon and King David over here. That was the time of his reign. It's amazing. So now we're going to go down to the Vatican, okay? And everyone, I've been to the Vatican, and I'm telling you right now, this place is not what you think it is, okay? So now this is where we get a little bit crazy, okay? So now the Vatican, notice how the cross is upside down and all that. But I think they talk about St. Peter a lot, which is the origin of why the cross is upside down. It's not, people say the cross upside down because of the 666 thing, and that is, I guess you could say, influenced, but the main reason why the cross was upside down was because when Peter was crucified, they crucified him upside down on a cross. But anyway, you can see here, look at this, right? So you see how in the second temple period of Judea and in the Roman Empire, there's another bridge here where the sole invictus, and I can't say this word, the Hellen Hellenization founded into the Vatican, okay? And then that's when they were founded in 325 AD. And look, you see right here, it says under there St. Peter. Look right there. You see right there, it says St. Peter. That's where they get that upside down cross. That's the origin of the upside down cross. So now you got the Vatican infiltrating. I gotta stop doing that. The Crusaders was also, the Vatican was also performing the Dark Ages. So now you got these Knights and Templars here. Okay, so like I said, it's all a cycle, man. It is all a cycle. So you see the Knights of the Templar here, founded in 1119, and then you got the bridge here of Kabbalah, and then the Khazar Kagans. I cannot go through this whole thing at once, but I just want to show y'all how crazy this is. And look over here. You see we're in the middle. The time of Islam was happening here. Sharia law was happening in this time frame. You know what I mean? It gets crazy, y'all. I'm telling y'all, it's amazing. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. So the time of Islam here. Then you got the Canaan law here. All this stuff. It's all here, guys. It is all here. And then you got, and then watch till we get deeper, man. You're gonna see who's on the bottom. And it's gonna shock some of y'all, but some of y'all it's not gonna shock at all. We got the Crusades on this side, Knights, and then all the history that happened. So now we got Switzerland, okay? Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much about Switzerland, and I'm gonna do some more research, but when you see here, when the black nobility was founded in 1291, this is when the Freemasons were starting to become involved. So basically, with Switzerland and the Templar Knights, they were founding the Freemasons in 1717 or 1717, should I say. And on the other side, they got the Jesuits on this side. So we'll scroll over. Now, one thing you guys got to know about the Jesuits, right? Jesuits are, if you don't know, it's a priest basically. It's a priest that is somewhat involved in Catholicism, I guess you can say. You know, the guys that, you know, you sit in, you confess your sins there. It's a religious ideology, should I say. They've been doing this for a while, and I think, look at this right here. Wait, where was it? I thought I saw it. Maybe it's on this side. I know that Abraham Lincoln's assassination is around here, but not in this timeline, but when I go down a little bit, because I know that when I was reading the book of Abraham, not Abraham in the Bible, but the one who freed the slaves, right? They assassinated him. And you guys are going to see what the reason was in the times of history why they assassinated him. So now you got the Illuminati, right? The Illuminati is founded in 1776, okay? Now it's funny that something else was made in 1776 too, okay? And you already know who that is if you know your history, who was founded in that. But if you look here, right, you're gonna see on the left side, you're gonna see, first off, they got the Freemasonry on the top here next to the Freemasons, and then you got the Dutch invasion, okay, and then you got the Bank of New England. You scroll down a little bit, right? There's an American Freemasonry happening. And then if you go to the, where I want to see it, if you scroll down to about, here it is. So if you scroll down to around, I would say 1865, if you see on the far left side, you go to 1865, you see the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, and look who that he was assassinated by. Who was Abraham? Look right there, right? He was assassinated by the Jesuits. Okay, So now you got to ask yourself. History taught us that when Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, he was shot by a KKK member, right? I believe that. I do. But who was the KKK trying to infiltrate themselves with? You know, have you noticed something here? Okay, let's go back. Okay, and this I'm not gonna bring up race a lot like that, but why do you think they say Knights Templar here? Is that a coincidence that they call themselves that, and then the KKK call themselves the White Knights? Why do they worship a white Jesus, right? And now I'm not going to get into Jesus' skin color, but just bear with me here, right? Now, if the Knights Templar was involved with the Switzerland of 1291 black nobility and the Freemasons, and then you see here the Glorious Revolution in the middle, involved with the Jesuits, who made the who was funding into the Illuminati with the Freemasons, would you be shocked? Would you honestly be shocked if Abraham Lincoln, a person who was freeing slaves, right, whether he did it in to win the war or just to free these people, why would this happen? Why would a Jesuit assassinate Abraham Lincoln? You know what I mean? Why would they write this here? Maybe it's because some Jesuits are involved in KKK. You know, maybe that's the white supremacy that people talk about that people don't want to talk about. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not trying to put skin color in it. I'm just saying this is what people are basically getting an idea and some sort of discernment, right? So now right, we got the infiltration of the USA, right? And then on the far left side, right, we got the War of 1812, we got Abraham Lincoln, but look, after the Illuminati, look who's at the very bottom. Look who's at the very bottom. The United States of America. Why are they at the bottom? And you see this word here? You know what this word is? Novus Ordo, whatever the Socialorum is. If you take a $1 bill, right? You take a $1 bill, you turn it on the back, you see this word on the very bottom. Not the very, very bottom, like the part that says the Great Pyramid of Reincarnated Souls, okay? Now, why am I telling you this? You people need to understand the United States of America is not everything you think it is. You know what I mean? Like, um, there's a reason why they're in power, and then there's a reason why some people kind of get the ideology that the United States can be somewhat as the Roman Empire. You know what I mean? And being involved with the Vatican, all these things, right? And I would honestly love to get deeper into this. You know what I mean? Maybe I can break down some of these areas. But don't you just find it a coincidence, right? That all this is not only just history, but kind of making sense. You know what I mean? Is it kind of making sense? And if it's not, look deeper, okay? Use your discernment. And where, like I said, this is all the ideology, right, of the cult of Baal, okay? If you honestly think that Joe Biden or the United States government, if you honestly, wholeheartedly believe that they are ending, or they're not ending, legalizing abortion because of the goodness of their heart, or because of women's rights, or because of the rights of choice, you're I'm sorry, it's a very big delusion for you. Okay, it's a very big delusion because it's all about it's all about human sacrifice in the cult of Baal. That's all I'm telling you right now, that's all it's about. It has nothing to do with, oh, well, we feel sorry for you, like, you were attacked by a man, or you were you should have the choice to have a child or not, even though you had a choice to sleep with somebody. Look at it, like, even look at the bottom here, man. Like, why is Lucifer on the bottom talking about love, sex, and fertility? Fertility, come on, guys. Like, you can't make this up, guys. Like, you cannot make any of these things up. This is I'm so glad I found this map, because this thing it's a history map, but it just tells you how it's all connected. it tells you how everything influences everything and what was happening in the times here. You even have Sodom and Gomorrah here. I thought that was pretty cool too. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this because um the rabbit hole is a lot deeper than we think. Gen Z today, and sometimes you gotta ask yourself, why are they the way they are? You know what I mean? Why are there so many abortions? Why are there so many people that aren't raising their kids right? Why are they all dying? You know what I mean? And like I said, all the devil is trying to do is basically, why are these kids, or get rid of them. You know what I mean? He's going to do one or the other. If the kid lives because of the choice of a person to make it live, or to make the person live, then he's going to infiltrate somehow through this ideology. You know what I mean? There is nothing new under the sun. I love that Solomon says that all the time. There is nothing new under the sun. And I thought that this was a great thing to share with you guys. This is more of a, I wouldn't say this is more of a teaching. This is more just something to share, and just something to just kind of get yourself to be like, why, or like, what is the root of Baal's ideology, and why it's important to expose this thing. I want to talk about the Baphomet in the next video. I'm not gonna do it in this video because I think the Baphomet statue is a lot deeper than people think it is too. You know, I can't stand when people say, oh, it's just a symbol, or it's just that. Like, basically, you need to understand that symbols mean something. You know, drawings, writings, maps, they all mean something. Okay, and you want to know this. You know, you want to know these things. You know, you want to gain knowledge. You want to learn on how the things really work in the spirit realm, and what God is doing, what the devil is doing, what everyone's doing. You know, you want to know these things. You don't want to be ignorant. Now, you don't want to know everything, because you can't know everything, but you want to get an idea of how this world really works. So, anyways, thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. Please hit that like button, and please subscribe. I'm praying that I get more subscribers here. I really want more people to share this video, and just feel free to reach out, man. Just feel free to reach out, man. I like doing these things for y'all. You know, this is not about me. You know what I mean? This is just, to get some knowledge out there for y'all. So I love y'all, and be safe. All right. Shalom.